God.
Yeah, I'm
I feel
recording.
like you're just agreeing with the cold because you're just like, I don't know what intro means.
Exactly. Yeah, we've already started with a recording. So
Were you
you're
recording the whole time?
no, I like just started it.
Oh man.
Yeah. So what
I
are you
felt like
drinking?
there's some good stuff.
Yeah, we should have been.
This is I don't I'm drinking a vodka cranberry juice, grapefruit juice
Yeah.
cocktail. I don't want to say the name because the name is really just like, I hate the fact that
It's
it's called
very
a sea
fruity.
breeze.
Mm,
Yeah, it's fruity and it's called a sea breeze. And like, like I don't have a problem with my masculinity. Like I'm happy to say that the sea breeze is a superior vodka cocktail, but I'm not happy that it is the superior vodka cocktail. Does that make sense?
no, it doesn't.
Okay,
You
cool.
remember, I'm
I'm glad
19.
we.
I don't I don't
Oh
know
fuck.
drinks.
Have you
Have
have you
I
ever had a drink? Have you had a drink? Have you ever just sipped a beer, your dad's
when I was
beer?
when I was at your place, you made me
Don't
something.
incriminate me, please.
And
Don't incriminate me. Please
um
don't. When you're at your other white friend's place.
yeah, my other white friend's place. I was at
Oh, margarita. And a margarita.
yeah, and then in Boston, I was at my godfather Vinny. Uh his dad, we just had wine. We had
You had some wine?
wine and
What did you
raviolis.
like more? What the okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, we're Italian. Wine, what did I like more? Um
I always like asking people that had just started drinking, like, what do they like?
to
Because
be
in like
honest,
5 years,
yeah, to be honest though, don't like how alcohol sits.
you don't like how alcohol sits.
I don't like how alcohol sits. Maybe that's just because
Keep
I'm new.
keep packing protein. Keep working by the docks, and
Oh
you'll
man,
be soon.
I'm
Soon enough, you'll be
gaining
a
some
whiskey
weight.
neat.
I'm
Oh
gaining
my
some
god!
weight.
Whoa!
Please, I'm putting
Jesus
on some.
Christ!
You should
I
have
didn't
seen
know
my Snapchat. It was
your Snapchat.
yeah, it was a little.
You won't get a TikTok, but you have Snapchat.
That's different.
How is that different?
TikToks again. Snap.
TikTok has self-respect to it because
sn-
it's for your career.
No,
What is
I'm.
Snapchat doing? What
I've
is Snapchat
never
doing for your blossoming comedy career? Other than letting
nothing.
you're
I
able to
don't.
send like dick pics to fans.
I
What's
don't.
happening?
I don't like social media. Once I get to a certain point, I'm
This is gonna be a bad
deleting.
look.
No,
This is
once I get to a certain point in my career, I'm deleting social media.
okay.
I don't like it.
What is
I
that gonna be though? Doesn't like most big name comedians still have social media?
yeah, I just don't want it. I don't like.
You're old manning this right now.
I am old. I'm an old soul. You know that. I'm old
That
soul.
okay. Old soul is a term that like adults say to kids when they're just trying to say very nicely that they're boring.
That hurt, but
It should hurt. I want it to hurt because you can be better. You're gonna download TikTok. You're gonna start today. You're gonna be
TikTok's not.
better.
How does doing this and those little stupid dance moves, the renegade and the I'm bad.
It's gonna get you pussy
No, I don't.
because you're gonna be a TikTok star.
Yeah, oh man, all 300. But like I was telling you before, I don't want to get deleted because I'm poor or ugly. And I know I'm not poor.
Wait, can you explain that? What do you fully mean by? Where did you read this? So TikTok deletes people that are poor and
Yeah,
ugly.
they just got in trouble because they had their policy is because they want it to they feel like if they have poor and ugly people on their platform, it'll diminish the views. Because right now, like I was like, it's all just cute girls in crop tops. That's all it is. So right now, half of the viewership is just horny teens
So what
watching.
is the problem? What is the problem with that?
What's the problem with
Deleting the poor and ugly.
I don't care if you do that for other people. The problem is if you do it to me, and then I learn
Uh,
through TikTok that I'm ugly because I know I'm
I
not poor.
love it went from like you being a man of the people, like you're the
Hmm.
Bernie Sanders of social media there for a second, to just quickly go like, no, I don't want to find out that I'm ugly.
Yeah, this is selfish. That's all it is. I don't give a crap if you're deleting the Joe Exotics of TikTok. I don't care. But me, if I find out that I'm ugly because you were banned from TikTok, That's gonna hurt.
No, they wouldn't ban you. It'd be like one of those like I feel like it'd be the petty invite to the party where they'd be like, yeah, no, totally come. And they purposely like, maybe they tell you to come like an hour earlier, a couple hours earlier, and then they pretend like they're wrapping up like, yeah, I think this is enough. And then they have the actual
specific. Party. Has that happened to you?
I'm just coming from a personal place, okay? But now since I've gotten TikTok, let me tell you, I'm the life of the party.
Are you the life of the party? All 100 kids who follow you on TikTok?
Let me tell you, they might not be old enough to buy comedy club tickets today, but that's a 5-year investment I just made.
Who said that? That was Andrew Schultz who said that.
Did he? I've actually never heard that. But it does make sense. I can't be the first comic that like thought that.
No, I don't think it was Andrew Schultz. No, it wasn't Andrew Schultz. It was Gary V.
Gary, oh my, that's not a comic. Are you telling me that I'm like hacked, that I'm like taken off of Gary V?
Yeah, you're Gary V now. You're about to. I don't know. I can
take that.
I don't.
It's called long-term social media investing. Is that what he said?
Probably.
What do you have? I know you have a Twitter because sometimes you like a couple of my tweets.
I have Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat. And I only got Instagram for comedy. Like I downloaded it when I started. And Twitter I had before, but like I don't post anything on Twitter.
So you're almost there.
The thing is this, I don't feel like people.
You've rounded all the bases. Go home. That's what I'm saying. Just go home. Download it.
What, TikTok's the Grand Slam?
Yeah, that is the Grand Slam. You're going to get TikTok and you're going to see changes.
What do you post on TikTok?
I don't post anything. I'm scared to post things. Not because I know that I'm not poor and ugly. See, I know I'll be fine.
Whoa.
I will thrive on TikTok. But the problem is I don't like, my brain breaks when I try to think of like, how do you fit the I don't know how do you compete with like a 15-year-old girl that hit puberty too early dancing? Like I can't compete with that. Comedy's not that interesting.
Yeah, that's the thing. So for me, it's like I just want to limit the social media I have. I'm gonna focus on Instagram and maybe Twitter. But like if I can just Twitter. Yeah, maybe Twitter. Really, even with Twitter, all I do is like stuff. That's all I want.
Yeah, it's kind of creepy. You're like the cuckold of Twitter. Like I'm good, guys. I'm just here to watch.
That's hilarious.
You guys have fun though.
You haven't seen Tom Segura's special. I would have.
Well, I don't quote a special on. I mean, you could quote it, I guess.
No, I'm not going to say other people's jokes.
You could do a TikTok where you're mouthing the words to his joke. That's what people do on there.
See how lame that is?
It's very lame.
That is
I'm not saying it's not lame, but answer me this, Daniel. Do you want to be rich or right?
Right.
Because guess what? Oh, my God.
I want to be right.
You're one of these, like, stand-up comedy purists.
I don't
it's
care
gonna
about
hurt.
the money.
It's going to hurt.
I don't care about the money. I'm going to
be honest. Right now.
Well, I mean, like, all I need is if I can make the same amount of money that I'm making packing protein with the stand-up, I'm good.
Oh, my God.
I'm good.
I can't believe I agreed to a podcast with someone with such low ambition.
That's not low. That's not low ambition.
You want to make $11 an hour from comedy,
and you're only working an hour in a day.
No, you're not.
It was stand up was okay. So if you're making, all right, I'm making like 470 a week. All right. If you're making that in comedy, it's like, all right, I'm good. I still want to go higher, but money's not the thing for me. For me, it's specials. It's specials. That's where I'm putting all my focus in is on the joke writing. I don't care.
Okay. I feel like you're selling like Amway to me. Like this is like a pyramid scheme right now. You're like, look, if I'm doing stand-up, if you do it and you get 2 more people involved, we'll have enough people to watch our specials.
And then if they get 2 more people, I mean, we're going to be rich, man.
If they get 2 more people, we'll have enough people to move my couch in my new apartment. So let's get on it.
too.
I don't know. I would hope that someday. I think collectively I've made $200 from comedy, and that's a year and a half in.
So okay,
So that what
that's the
$100 a year.
differences. That's the difference between
Well,
I've
I'm not
made
doing it for the
15.
money.
No, no. I've made 15 so far.
$15?
$15 so far. So there you have now a little more taste of getting
I'm
paid.
a higher class comic now.
Yeah,
You
you are.
know,
You're in a
if
higher
I
tier.
if I divorce stand up, I would stand up would owe me alimony. Like I've gotten
Hmm.
used to a certain quality of life,
Yeah, they'd have to pay you about like $10 an hour.
like a PBR a night.
Hmm. I tell you about how I didn't know what PBRs were when I first started doing stand up? Like
That
I thought they
you were
were peanut
15,
butter.
right?
I thought they were.
No,
I legitimately I thought because it was at Punchline. Who's the host? Catherine? Is that her name?
Catherine Blandford.
Yeah. So she was like, and the winner gets $50, which is like 50 PBRs for the comics. And I was like, why is she talking about peanut butter and jelly sandwiches? And this, like comics don't eat that. That's
How
not
do
a
you relate to
cliche.
humans? How do you do stand up? I'm really curious because it's so funny is like how we've done stand up about as long as it's about the same, right? You started back in I
I
think
started
July of
July
last year,
2018. Yeah.
2018. Okay, so yeah, so you're a couple months further, but like you're genuinely I enjoy watching your sets. You're genuinely very funny, but I
Mhm.
don't. It frustrates me because like we're having this conversation and it you sound like an alien right now. You're just like, I thought PBR was peanut butter and jelly, and it's like, what is happening?
I did not know what PBR was until I don't know where I learned, but yeah, someone was like, "Oh, it's crappy beer. It's
Yeah,
two
no, it's
dollar
shitty
beer."
beer.
Yeah.
No, well, hold on. It's not terrible. You're gonna get an acquired taste for it. Keep working by the docks.
I'm gonna. Nah, I'm probably not gonna be a big drinker. I'm too cheap.
I mean, I'm cheap too, but I mean, there's nothing else to do. I feel like I cut down on drinking so much because you're
Mhm.
going out. I do stand up. Like I work all day
Right.
and immediately go out and do open mics. So it's hard to have the energy to get through like a 15, 16-hour day. If you're having a beer or a whiskey, it's just going to wear you out. So I usually just don't drink. It's just mostly water and fucking, granola bars and shit to kind of keep you afloat to each mic. And now that I don't have stand up, it's like my drinking has like shot up like it's a fucking hockey
Oh,
stick
for real?
because there's nothing to do. You
That's
see what I'm having? You think I'd do this shitty podcast if stand up was still around?
I appreciate it. All right, the honesty.
I'd be bombing at Punchline if I had the choice.
Oh, I want to go back to Punchline. I miss stand up. You don't
Yeah.
know. You don't know how. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, here's the, okay. I think we all miss stand up. Here's what needs to stop.
What?
The fucking virtual open mics, and I need comedians to stop saying this. I don't want to hear this ever again for the rest of my life. Look, people are bored. They want content. We're making it for them. And it's like, no one
Yeah.
asked for fucking Joe, whatever the fuck, in like Kansas City's comedy scene to fucking put his tape on the internet. Like, just because people have to stay home doesn't mean the standards of what they're going to watch go fucking exponentially down.
Oh
Like, they still give a shit. You're
no!
competing with Netflix.
No, it has gone down.
Fuck
It,
that.
it
No.
it has gone down. Look, go on TikTok. I bet you the quality of stuff has shot down.
Yeah,
There's probably
because we
ugly
fucked it
people on
up. These
TikTok now. There are
no,
probably
yeah,
ugly
because
people.
it's yeah, it's stand-up comedians. They're the fucking ugliest.
I could be on TikTok right now. That's how bad Corona's made
I
everything.
comedians act like gravity doesn't exist. They're just kind of like, I don't know. I'm gonna release my bits that I never released before, and now they're gonna take off. And it's like, no, they're not. It's not
Yeah,
gonna happen.
yeah. You're gonna get probably from what used to be like 20 views to like 30 or to 40, but
Yeah.
you're not. That's yeah. I think
Your best chance was Weinstein. Okay, your best chance was some producer fucked you and you got a career. It's over now.
that's
You're gonna
that's
have
what
to actually be funny. You need talent.
that's what I'm saying. I think there's all this shitting on the gatekeepers, but in a way, the gatekeepers were kind of making the quality of everything, music and comedy, like showbiz. It was keeping it up there because you had to be really funny. There were always those who like literally slept through the cracks, but a few, like, it kept you had to be funnier than everyone else to get a
All right,
special.
and I want to make it clear that we're not Harvey Weinstein apologists.
Yeah.
We're talking about like legitimate gatekeepers. We're not
Yeah.
talking about like having to get your mouth slammed in
Hmm.
because you're just trying to get a career. We're talking about like the people that you do have to work your ass off just to get on their radar.
Yeah, that's I appreciate you for doing damage control. uh
Yeah, because that was a weird segue. Because
it was a very weird
it
segue.
went from me telling stand-up comedians that their best chance was Harvey Weinstein fucking them to get a career to you go like, well,
I
that's the
mean,
thing about gatekeepers. They're needed.
well, because
They
when
make
you
sure
look,
quality. I don't even know what the fuck I'm saying anymore. Continue. I'm sorry.
no, you're good. It's just now it's like, yeah, we've lost the gatekeepers, which is good, so that you can start. Well, you could kind of start getting the following earlier, but like the quality has kind of gone down.
Well, we democratized it a lot. Social media democratized it a lot. Like
Mm,
anyone, I mean, even like fucking podcasts, for example. I mean, there used to be a time where like doing a podcast, you couldn't do this, what we're doing over
right.
Zoom. You had to
Hmm.
be in the same fucking room. It needed to be real microphones because phones and like you had to have something real to record the audio or it just sounded like a fucking tin can.
Yeah.
And so that means you had to go to like a studio and you had to record it and it needed a
Hmm.
producer. And now to do a podcast, you just need a fucking pulse and some patience, and that's it. You don't
Right.
have to
And
be good.
yeah, and that's the benefit of the internet. It's so that we can all do it. But like, of the olden days of when you had to go to a studio and everything, that weeded out the people who weren't really into it for like the craft and pushing along like the craft of stand up or the craft of music. Now it's just any Joe Blow can do it. And then if you get lucky and you're able to mumble the right words to the right beat, you're in. Because now, like with music, the artists are not that good. It's the producers who are great. It's the
Yeah.
beats who are killing it.
Well, like Billie Eilish, like she's not really spectacular, but her brother's really good at making some fucking sweet
Right.
beats and putting a fucking, a Xanax fucking girl in front of it singing it, and we're all like, wow, art.
She's got a good voice though.
She
I
does have a
like
good voice.
I like her
She looks
voice.
like she's always fucking like zanned out. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like she looks like her album is the soundtrack of Xanax.
I mean, there was a rap. Have you heard Lil Xan?
Yeah,
Isn't he
but
from?
I
He's from
think it
Tallahassee.
I
That's your
mean, I
neck of the
don't.
woods.
Do you just think like just because like I have tabs on all the Florida people,
I think you do.
like we're like some cult where we're
You
all just like, oh yeah, no, I
you
know him.
you guys are different. Florida is the Florida of Florida.
You know what's gonna blow your mind is Florida looks up at Georgia and thinks you guys are different.
For real?
Yeah, Florida has a connotation. Florida doesn't look at itself as a South. Like I can
Because
only
you're
speak
not.
for. We're not. I can only speak for Central Florida and South because that's all the I lived in South Florida growing up, and then I went to college in Orlando, so I can't speak for the Panhandle, which thinks it's the South. Florida's not the South, and they don't want to be the South, so they look at like actual like Mississippi and Alabama and Georgia and all that as like. It blew my mind coming to like Atlanta and go like, oh, they're not just a bunch of rednecks. Like there's people that have a clue here.
Yeah. With that being said, yeah, Florida and Louisiana should just secede.
You think so?
I think they are not America.
You don't want to lose Florida. Florida is
What are we gonna lose? Old people? We're gonna lose old people and
you're
Pitbull.
not losing old people. Guess what? There's plenty of fucking old people down there, but like the thing is like have you been to like Miami? I'm assuming not.
I
Not
might
of
have.
age. Not of age.
Yeah, I haven't. Yeah.
Go to Miami when you're of age. And granted, I'm not saying Miami's this great fucking it's a fucking horrendous place and probably should be bombed. I mean, it should be on the list of places where drone striking. Because like what happens there it's just like the whole. It's a sit like. Let me put it like this: Vegas was born from like what gambling and all that. Miami is literally born from cocaine.
Yeah,
It's a city that didn't
I
exist until cocaine came around.
I know that. That was a thing that surprised me in Boston. Everyone in Boston's doing cocaine, or
Yeah,
like
they're adults.
90%,
They get it.
90%, 90% of people. Well, that's like here in Atlanta, it's weed. Weed
It
is
is a lot of weed,
it's a lot of
but
weed.
it's a lot of coke in Atlanta. I
There were
mean,
there was a few times with Coke, and like every time someone brought out Coke, I would get shooed out of the room.
well, no. It's like a TikTok thing. If you're poor and ugly, you're not invited to that party.
Oh, that was the reason. Oh. I thought it was just because I was a kid with braces.
Like I don't have a sense of style. Like I'm just trying just as hard as everyone else.
Now you have a sense of style.
But yeah, it's just the color black. Like
But
that's
I
all I
think
wear.
but that stems off of having a girlfriend.
She
Have
has
it
no style. She has no style.
Yeah, but
I have more style than her.
but having a girlfriend gives you like a dress code. When you're
Yeah.
when you're free like me, literally all I
Don't say
wear.
free. Don't say free. Free. You're giving it too much.
Yeah, I'm pretty free.
I mean, most guys. Well, I can't speak for it now because you know what's funny? It's like kids. Like I feel like generationally, people have just gotten more attractive because like there's just fucking 12-year-old girls that are like fucking makeup. Like I don't get it. I
But
don't get that.
well, yeah, because that's social
In
media.
middle school, we were fucking hideous. We weren't. We should have been. We should have been the ones doing Zoom class. We shouldn't have been allowed to fucking be out in public. We all had like pie faces with acne, and we
Yeah,
looked fucking stupid. Guys smelled weird because we didn't really fully understand how deodorant worked, and we fucking had shirts that were too big for us, and we looked terrible.
damn, 1990 must have sucked.
Not 1995.
You were in
And
1995?
guess what? There's a fucking kid in 1990 that's looking at 95 going like, look at these fucking kids. They're dressing better than me. I didn't wear a shirt to school.
That's the thing. Generations now, it's like a new generation every like 5 years because of technology. It
Yeah, things
switches
change
so
so
rapid.
much.
Yeah. Because I kind of grew up on VCRs, and
Yeah, you were probably very, very tail end.
yeah, because I had VCR Bob the Builder, and what was that rat that was a Cinderella?
Um,
Do you know what I'm talking about?
I don't. I'll be honest. I can't do Disney like anymore. So it's been so long since I've like sat down and watched like the classics. Like
Oh,
I don't
it
even know
wasn't
how
even
many
Disney.
dwarves.
It wasn't even
What are you
Disney.
talking about?
It was just a rat that was a ballerina.
Mickey Mouse?
No, Mickey Mouse never put on a tutu.
I don't know, but I can believe it. I'll pretend that I know what you're talking
I
about.
appreciate it. So yeah, it was like those VCRs. Yeah, and then I remember when Blu-ray came out, and that was a huge thing.
Well, you remember it was HD DVD versus Blu-ray. There were divorces happening over people that chose the wrong one.
Oh yeah, it was
Like
serious.
it was very serious. Like you weren't invited over to certain people's places where it was like, "What are you? Oh, you're a Blu-ray guy."
Everyone I knew went the Blu-ray route. We didn't do any of that. I think we were still on VCRs.
And that's why you're packing protein. Your
That is
parents didn't put,
exactly.
they didn't put stock in you.
I'm so thankful for that job. I,
Yeah.
especially in this time.
What's worse than a shitty job is not having a job.
Exactly. I'm
It's,
so thankful for packing protein.
I don't know what that means either, because it has like a weird like homosexual tone to it. Like it sounds like someone is abusing you.
You ready to get this creatine?
Yeah, you ready to pack some protein?
I don't know why people get confused. It's literally so my official job title is
I don't know why people get confused. Packing protein. We all remember that. Come on, we've all done biology.
What's hard to understand from packing protein?
Okay, first off, protein. Do you mean like the fucking like
protein powder? Protein powder, like what you buy at GNC.
But you have to understand, protein can be like steak. I mean, some people just refer to like, oh, you need a high protein diet, not because they're talking about whey protein, but because they're talking about like fucking steak and chicken.
If I was stacking steak or chicken, I would tell you. I'm packing protein. So like
I don't know. I don't know the terms. I don't know what you kids are saying, okay?
so
I watch
like
TikTok. It's another language you're speaking.
my official job title is dumping operator.
Oh my God. They just didn't spare any expenses on you guys.
I'm a dumping operator. Um so yeah, so if I'm not putting like those bottles, those 5-pound bottles of protein into a cardboard box
Do
and
you get
then
a discount?
no, I wish I did.
No, you don't get protein for free?
Well, if you're dumping, you just smell it. So because it's all in the air, because just like these huge like 100-pound, more than 100 pounds, it's like 200-pound bags of like just protein powder, and then you dump it into like a shaker, and it shakes. This is my college dropout vocabulary, and it shakes, and then it goes into this tube, and then it pours it into the bottles, and then those bottles come out in like an assembly
This is
line.
not simple, Daniel. You literally just said, I don't get why people are confused when I say pack. That's harder than going to college. What you're doing is harder than college right now. What is this description? That's like a 10-step process. I thought protein, when I look at those cans of protein, I just thought I didn't even think they weighed it. I just thought some fucking jackass just dropped protein in it and they're like, there you go.
And there you go. No. Typically it's an African woman who weighs it.
African woman. Is it seriously that like,
Yes,
is it just immigrants? Is it just immigrants working at protein
yeah.
plants?
It's just Mexicans or Hispanic. It's just Mexicans.
Tell me about the border wall.
It's Mexicans, um, women from Ghana, and then Bosnians or Russian men, and then me, the Italian, who packs protein, and
I love how
that's
you say that, but like you're not like from Italy. It's not like you just dodged death over there. You're literally fucking you're
I
from
dodged
Georgia.
definitely. From
It's not
Snellville,
like you
Georgia.
Yeah, it's not like you got on the last lifeboat leaving fucking Sicily before the whole
I
thing
head to Ellis
collapsed.
Island.
Yeah, Ellis Island. They're like, I don't know, send him to Georgia. He can pack protein. He's got
That's
good forearms for packing protein.
I'm the American dream. I'm
You are
the
the American
I'm the
dream.
American dream. Came from Georgia.
Do you think
Worked.
the immigrants are embarrassed to work with you?
Oh yeah. Oh, gee, like the look they give me. Some of them, the look they give me is like, it's just like, all right, how did he fuck it up? Because he's 19 and he's working in a warehouse.
Yeah, you're like, yeah, I was going to Boston College. I was pre-med. Now
That's
I'm
yeah,
here.
yeah. And then when I try to explain that I'm a comedian, but they don't
They're like, you
understand it.
haven't said a funny thing all day.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, I'm like, well, listen, Jorge, we don't speak the same language. Like
Yeah.
I'm doing a lot of like when someone's just another language and you just like smile and you just kind of that's what 10 hours of that.
10
No,
hours of just politely nodding through jokes.
but I love those people. Like all jokes aside, I love those people. There's some hard working.
Oh, of course, dude. That's a salt of the earth job.
Yeah, those people I love. It's just there's no whining because in my earlier jobs, it's just a bunch of like high school kids who like their mom and dad are paying for everything. So I'll spoil
Yeah.
brats. Here it's like these people are working their ass off
Of
for
course.
and then there's me who's just trying to get a job
Yeah.
so I can
I'm
tell
just
my
trying to get to the punchline on
yeah,
Sunday.
exactly.
I need gas money, guys.
Exactly. Just to tell my dick jokes. That's all it is.
There's Jorge that's trying to put a fucking down payment down for his family, and you're like, no, 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 no,
Mhm.
no. I got to workshop some shit.
I've tried some jokes, but they bombed.
With the people you work with?
Yeah,
Yeah, of course. They don't. You think that is like, first off, comedy, let's be honest, is all about atmosphere. You know, it's a lot of rapport building and kind of getting people in the right headspace to enjoy. Where did you think a protein plant where people have to just dump protein powder in the cases was like a place where they're going to be like, yeah, no, I want to hear your take on women.
Surprisingly, though, the guys there are hilarious. Like
Of
that,
course.
the warehouse, the guys are hilarious.
The funniest people are 100% blue collar people.
Oh, yeah.
I'm working in my first office job, and that's the most boring people I've ever worked with.
Oh, I bet. Yeah, because you're in a cubicle all day. You can't be funny in a cubicle.
Well, I'm not. No, I work on cameras.
Oh, yeah. So you're still working with like
I mean,
Corona?
I have to. Yeah, we don't stop.
Oh, you got. Oh, okay. You said that like
Yeah,
the
you know
military.
who. Yeah, no, I mean, it's the news. Like, they're just like, fuck it, we don't care. You just keep coming in until you cough.
Yeah, that's how it is at the protein place.
Yeah,
They
if you
keep.
cough, you clock out. Okay, that's the policy.
Are they? Is your job like sending you like thank you notes for coming in?
Uh no, they gave us soda.
That's a lot better than what we're getting. All we're getting are like text messages that said, "We appreciate you for coming in this time." The last text message was it was a quote. It said, "Tough times don't last, tough people do." And then they said, "Thank you for coming in and working at Valentine." I was like, I don't.
That
That's not gonna help pay my bills.
yeah, that does nothing for anyone.
I'd rather get soda
Yeah, I mean, what the fuck does
or
that even
protein.
mean?
Give me a 5 pound. I'm trying to
You
gain some
don't.
weight.
So wait, you don't even get protein for free, but
Mm-mm.
you have to work with it all day. I'm trying to wrap my head around that.
Yeah, we just pack it.
You just pack it.
We just pack it, man.
Oh my god. I did have you noticed that you're getting a thicker Boston accent the more trashy you get?
It's funny that I came. Yeah, well, that's true. But what I noticed, um, I didn't know how much of a country boy I was until I went to Boston.
Why?
Because when I went to Boston, I realized that one, I need to see sun and grass. I can't like that like the weather affects me. I get like real depressed up there, and I was sick the entire time. And then two, it was just like my accent came out, like my southern accent and drawl really came out among like northerners. And then three, I think that southern hospitality. Like I thought I was gonna like I grew up with a dad from Boston. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna get that like New England harshness.
Edge.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. But like I still had a little like southern hospitality in me.
Oh boy. Yeah. I mean, it's kind of hard, especially coming from Georgia. I mean, I don't know. What's weird is like you're complaining about Boston. I'm assuming you were trying to say it's a really gray place. Like there's not a lot of
Yeah,
sun.
that's why they all do cocaine and drink up there. 'Cause there's not
That's
much.
how I felt about Atlanta when I first moved here because I came from the place that has the most sun.
That's
And then
true.
the first winter I had in Atlanta, I couldn't wrap my head around a day where it just rained all day. Like I was like, it just rains all day. That's it.
Yeah. Well, Georgia, we just get that from like March to April, and now we're done with it. Now it's just gonna be sun and
Yeah.
blistering
Just
heat.
just sun and coronavirus. The
It's
way
yeah,
God intended.
that like God intended.
Just I'm so happy. It's a beautiful fucking, sunny day and we're just sitting here going like, yeah, do you want to do a podcast on Zoom? Since if you go outside, the National Guard will fucking shoot you on sight at this point.
Are they sending the National Guard out to places?
No, but I mean, I can't wait till it gets there. That's
I
when it's
heard,
going to be fun.
I heard the Coast Guard was in like
What is
I
the Coast Guard going to do? Fucking resuscitate a dolphin?
I don't know. I don't. The
Make
thing
sure no
is,
one's swimming to Italy? I mean,
no one's swimming to Italy. The thing is, though, is that it's like Corona's not. It's not the scary thing. It's like it's how
it's
we've reacted to it.
yeah, of course, yeah.
It's and
And
and I just don't understand why we've gotten so like why has this shut us down, but like the H1N1
didn't
didn't.
I don't know. I really don't. I mean, I'm glad I guess we did the social distancing before it got like crazy,
Hmm
But at the same time, it is kind of like strange that I think a lot of people are asking those questions of like, why is this the thing to shut it all down? Because it's like weird. It's like they fucking hit the red button.
Yeah, what I'm saying, I'm thinking this is gonna be, and oof, this is gonna be like the 9/11 of viruses, where like how 9/11 like flipped the script on all like the rules like with TSA, like it introduced TSA and all that stuff, and like we lost our privacy.
Yeah.
That's what Corona we're gonna start seeing because China, uh, how they curved it apparently is like with a facial recognition, and they tracked people, and like they literally,
Yeah.
you were like coded, if you're healthy you're green, if you're a risk you're red.
Yeah.
So now countries are looking at that, and I think now we're gonna start seeing countries being like, all right, maybe we should track our
As soon as the
citizens.
chip's at 105, they sent a militia to your house to fucking
Hmm.
kill you and your whole
Yeah,
family. Which
exactly.
I mean, is that the worst thing? That's like the TikTok,
That's TikTok.
you know?
Maybe TikTok is the reason why all this
And
is happening.
hey, TikTok's a Chinese company. I mean, I understand if I listen back and this is all cut. I It's probably for the
Oh, none
safety
of
of
this is
us.
getting cut. Oh well, yeah. Some that Harvey Weinstein thing might get cut. And if it does
You
get
know what's
cut,
funny? I'm not even worried about the Harvey Weinstein thing. I'm worried about like just China fucking getting to my apartment and just blowing my brains out. Because I think I'm close. I think this theory is probably the closest we've come to. Because like a fucking bat, you're gonna tell me a bat started this?
yeah,
America loves bats. Batman did a lot of PR work for bats for us to fucking
we
just hate bats
we
now.
we, we just like Batman. We don't like bats.
Oh, okay, fair. I am stretching here.
It's it's
That
like
was a
it's like
stretch.
it's like saying we like spiders because of Spider-Man. Peter Parker didn't
Don't.
change the way you look at a spider in your bathtub. You're still gonna kill it
I mean, I would still hope that if I was bit by a spider, I get a hot girlfriend and a way cooler job.
in a way cooler job. He was still
I
working
just
at the news place though.
That's still a cool job. I'll
You're
take
you're
it.
essentially Spider-Man without the powers.
Wow, that was soul crushing to hear out loud. I feel like that was
oh, oh,
that was
oh, I'm sorry to offend you. After this, what, 2 hours it has been, yeah, you pack protein and you just got your braces
I
off.
I'm still pretty sure when you say packing protein, are you doing gay porn? Are you like it's okay?
You
To be honest, like the world we live in, gay for pay is kind of cool.
Everyone's on TikTok, but I'm on Grinder. Is that
Yeah.
is that what you think I did? No.
Well, no, Grinder's free. I would imagine you're like
Oh,
I don't know. It's like
OnlyFans?
a Craigslist ad. Like, hey, for $50, you can come here and fucking punch me in the face
And you can
and
pack my
like
protein?
come on me and
Yeah.
pack my protein.
And pack my protein. No, I'm just packing protein at 6 in the morning till 4:30.
Yeah, that's depressing.
It is depressing.
No, I mean like it's a job.
I love
I
it
get
though.
it.
Don't get me wrong. I love the job. Um,
I I would say the biggest thing it's not. I think the packing protein's been fine. Harvey Weinstein's been fine. I think we're too close to what actually started this whole thing. I think TikTok probably has some kind of like some stock in COVID-19, and I think this is a great way to get rid of the poor and ugly,
mhm.
you know, and then you're just left with like the
just
fun
just
people.
the fun
All
people.
hot people are on TikTok. You know who's not on TikTok?
Mm-mm. Me. That's
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
Don't you want to be invited to that party now?
No, I'm good. I'm still good.
Oh my God.
I would rather die than join TikTok.
You know
I'd
what?
rather.
You say that, but once you fucking get what are the symptoms? It's like they describe it as an elephant sitting on your chest.
For real.
Like that's how hard it is to breathe.
But like some people, actually, I heard your blood type determines how hard you get hit. So A is the
Yeah,
worst.
probably.
A is the worst, and O, which is me, is the best. So
Oh, fucking convenient.
We're good. We're good.
How did I see that one coming?
We're living forever, baby. Forever.
You're like, the most popular blood type that gets laid the most? Yeah, they're all fucking dying. But, O's
Wait,
are
how'd you
virgins for
deduce
life.
that? Where's the science on that? Mine's coming from a doctor.
Look, first off, here's what I want to say. First off, really fucking depressing. All this shit that's going on has been depressing. The big red button's been hit. Everyone's quarantining. The fucking New York is fucked.
It's a scary time.
No doubt, dude. Fucking Italy had 4,000 people drop. It's fucking terrifying. So I know I'm joking around about it a lot, but there's a part of me that's like, I am Purelling fucking more. Like I'm washing my hands extra hard because my ass does not want fucking coronavirus. Because the symptoms, I don't know what blood type I have, by the way. I don't know how you have that just ready to go.
Well, because I think I'm one of I'm the special type. Where it's I can give to everybody.
Oh, awesome.
I forgot which O. It's either O positive or negative. I forgot which one. But I can give to everybody.
Well, then how do you know? Now you're back.
I know I'm O because it's on my driver's license too. So
okay. Is mine on my driver's license? Was it that simple to figure out my blood type?
Probably.
If you're a donor.
But I'm not a donor though.
You're not? Well, you might want to get that checked because after they, TikTok kills your fucking ass. They're probably taking your kidneys.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, and my kidneys haven't really drunk, so they're good.
Drunk. I know you're laying off that protein. It doesn't have to filter anything out. You're just fucking getting thank you notes from the bosses and.
I'm trying to
glass
gain
of water at work.
That all I eat to save money is just peanut butter. I just have peanut butter sandwiches.
Why can you answer me? Why am I feeling worse as this podcast goes on?
Because you're jealous of where I work, the hours that I have, and the pay I'm getting too. I mean, please, in this depression, $11 an hour, I'm gonna be balling. And then 3, you wish you could have peanut butter? I don't know. I'm stretching.
You are, yeah. This was a humongous. What is actually being said right now?
I needed to bomb. I haven't bombed in a minute. I needed to bomb.
Really? I mean, we can replay this podcast if you need to bomb.
This is when your soundboard will come in.
I know. I don't know. I know. I probably should have left it. I kind of kept that treat for myself.
Yeah.
You'll be on my pod. We'll have the soundboard ready to go on a real podcast.
No, I told you this podcast is simple. It is
simple.
It's KISS. Keep it simple, stupid. On my end, terrible mic is just my computer and we're just talking. That's all it is.
I mean, it's probably better this way because it's way more complicated the other way, where you're just trying to solve a bunch of bullshit technical problems the whole time. And then you're like, yeah, let's be creative now. Let's have fun.
Because I'm a hard worker, but I'm lazy. So it's like,
no, don't qualify your laziness.
No, I'm a hard worker. I just there's some things.
I can't wait for TikTok to take you out. I'm so ready. I'm going to be really upset when
I'll be a martyr.
I'm really happy that you're done. And then all of a sudden it's like a knock on my door and it's like also TikTok. And I'm like, no, I'm also poor and ugly.
Which one is it? TikTok, which one is it? It can't be both.
Yeah, I know. That's going to be the last thing that I ask. They're going to be like last words. I'm like, was it the poor or the ugly? And then it's going to be that cool moment where they go both and they fucking blow my protein out of my fucking head.
He brought it around. See, kids, that's comedy. That's comedy. It's called a callback.
Am I the first guest on this thing?
Yeah.
All right. I will christen this podcast, and I am just going to say that, look, I hope you find whatever you're looking for. I hope you find it, because this desperate cry for attention is sad. It is sad.
You're a comedian too, so don't act like you're not sad.
Oh no, I think the difference is I will never glamorize anything I'm doing. I will never be the comedian that's like, I do comedy because I want people to hear the truth, because there's no truth in any of it. It's all bullshit and it's all fake and we're not saving lives and it's the most all of it. Anything is
But
also.
there is a sense of
Don't
uh,
do it. Don't even
I'm
do it.
about to do it. It's making people laugh. It's
Yes, that is a part of it. But what I'm trying to get at is like, look, anyone that has to go to a stand-up show to get them off the ledge needs to actually see a real professional, because it's not us. It's not
it's not
women.
us.
It's not that.
But it's like
It's
for me, because for me in my like in those hard times, uh and like when things were down, it was like I would go and watch stand up and I would like forget about my problems like for an hour. That's why, like, for stand, it's like if I can do that for someone else, it will mean the world to me. It's
I
like,
mean, yeah, I think a lot of people with shitty childhoods get into comedy,
mm-hmm,
and I think they get into it for those reasons. And I agree. I mean, it's a similar reasons why I've gotten into it. But I guess what I'm trying to get at is like you have to be really careful with the over glamorizing, because there's a certain point where you need. I guess what I'm trying to put out is there's a certain point where you have to take a breath. You
yeah,
need some
because
oxygen in your brain.
I know
Because
I know what you're saying, because it gets to a point, and then you start thinking you're more special than what you really are, and like you
yeah,
take
there's
yourself too seriously. No, I feel that.
here's the reality. Let's say this. You do a show, right? You do
Mm-hmm,
a show. You fucking murder that show. You're the
mm-hmm.
best comic. You're a big deal. You walk outside and a bus fucking runs you over. I give it a month before there's already someone that's filled the gap. And that's the sad part about stand up. If you can swallow that pill, you'll have a career in this industry. But if you can't, the reality is there's a fucking line of people and there's someone that's ready to
That's
take that little slot.
that's true, but that's for only because that depends on what level you are. Because like look at with Kobe, because you could say any other basketball player, he gets killed and your slot's gonna be filled. Kobe,
Yeah.
yeah, if you get to that Kobe level and you've impacted so many, because the reason why the world stopped when Kobe died is because he impacted people across the world. It's like that's the level where I think he too says it's like basketball. It's like bigger than basketball. They start taking their art form as it's bigger than just stand up. It's bigger than just football and stuff like that.
Well, yeah, once you've gotten there, what is it? Like
But I think you need
99.9% of
fail.
people don't even get there.
Yeah, but I think you need that mentality to get
Yeah,
to
you have to be
that position.
self-deluded. You have to be like, I will agree with this. You need to be you have to delude yourself a bit to do stand up, because it takes a certain kind of person to walk into, like what you brought up, brew house.
Mm.
What we were seeing and what any normal person saw were two different realities.
Oh
We were
yeah.
seeing like, God, what a great chance to get up and fucking work on our shit. And what
Mm-hmm.
other people were seeing was like, this is a fucking human patio where people are just bombing back to back to back. And it's just sad. And like, if you looked at it objectively, it looks really sad. If you look at any open mic or
Oh, and yeah.
shows,
Mm-hmm.
and you watch it and you're like, this hurts. But the fact is like, when you want to do comedy, you're so fucking like, your brain's just tricked. You're just like,
Mm-hmm.
you're seeing fucking the Apollo. That's what you're seeing.
Mm-hmm.
You're
Yeah,
seeing like, oh, I'm Dave Chappelle. He did this. I'm doing this. I'm going to be this.
yeah, and you need that. I think you need that just to carry you through. Shoot, in Boston, I was performing in the basement of a burger shop.
Dude,
To
when I went to LA, there was an open mic that was in the back of a clothing store with
Christ.
no people. You paid $5. It was guaranteed only comics. It weren't open to the public. It
Right.
was a room of 6 comics, and you'd go up
Mm-hmm.
and you'd do your shit, and then you'd get off.
Yeah, shout out to Muya's Burger on Park Street in Boston, and it's just in the basement. Um, Literally, like sometimes like water is dripping down. Like we've had a few mics canceled because like the plumbing's all messed up, but and you're performing to like 2 other comics, but it's like you gotta have that mentality of like, all right, it's that love, that unconditional love for it. That's
Yeah,
gonna
I mean,
carry you on so you don't quit. Because that's why 99 or that's why like 90% quit is because
well,
after
and
a
they should
while,
quit.
yeah, Exactly. It's like because after a while, they don't feel like they either don't love it, or it's like this is bigger than them. Because that's what it is in life, is finding your purpose, or else you're gonna be packing protein for 20 years. It's like, what do you want to do?
Okay, don't go after Sharon like that.
You want to take your gamble and do what you love, or you gonna spend
Can I let you in on a secret? The reason why I don't want you to be this inspiring with it
Mhm.
is we have enough pathetic white guys that say all these things and stand up.
But do you have a light skin? do you
No,
do
no.
you,
And you know what? We can't afford to have more light skinned fucking comics. But
do
I'll tell you what, if I have one more goddamn fucking 30-year-old white guy that approaches me after a show or a mic and goes like, yeah, I've always wanted to do stand up. How do you do it? And this, that, and it's like, I, I feel like I have grown a hatred for just any white guy that approaches me after a stand up show because I'm just like, we don't like I don't want another you. No one wants
Mhm.
another you. And like the reality is if you didn't even have the balls to do it beforehand, you're not gonna have the balls now. Like
Yeah.
it only gets harder. It doesn't get easier.
Mhm.
And I don't know. Maybe this is like that moment where like I'm looking in the mirror and I'm going like maybe I hate me. But it's like I don't want fucking I'm so tired of that. I can't
No, I feel you on that. It's like the unsolicited, and when they're coming to you and telling you
yeah.
that's annoying, because it's like, all right,
And they're
because
hoping for a secret. They're like, "Hey, what's the best open mic?" And it's like, you know what you need? You need any open
yeah,
mic. You just
it's
need
just
to
doing it.
fucking go somewhere
Uh-huh. It's just doing it. No,
and suck really
I,
bad.
yeah, I agree with you on that. Because then and then too, it's like, all right, are you assuming I don't like what I'm doing, or I don't love it? So I feel you on that. But
Yeah,
no, if someone comes up to me and says like, why do you do it? I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you exactly what I just told you. It's like it's a love of doing it, and it's a sense of like, if I could help someone get through or forget about what they're going through for like 5 minutes, then it's like, all right, I won. That's why.
yeah. I mean, stand up is. I think why stand up ends up being one of the hardest things you can do performance wise is because the art of good stand up looks like you're putting no work in. It
Hmm.
looks like you're not even
It's
trying.
conversation. Yeah.
It's conversation, and on top of that, it really doesn't have a lot of flares. Like, I mean, unless you're like a prop guy, and that even has limits. But it's like there's no flair to it. You're not like any. I'll put it like this: stand-up's like one of the few things where it's like if you see a good singer, or even if it was an okay singer, let's say just an okay singer, you walk away and you're still kind of impressed. But
Yeah.
you can see a great stand-up, and there's always going to be a guy in the back of the room that's like, yeah, well, I mean, I could do that.
Yeah, that it's and those people are always those are always open micers who are always like, he could have done better. And it's like, come on, kid.
I'll say it like this. I saw Bert Kreischer's special and I didn't love it, but I
Hmm.
appreciated it. Like it didn't really make me laugh, but I could like watch it and appreciate the moves he was making and the way he wrote things and he structured things. You know, the way the black jokes he had, a little weird. Some of them were a little weird. It seems like he has a very questionable relationship with the black community. I felt that way when I walked away. I was like, okay, the Starbucks part was fine. I thought that was kind of funny, whatever. But then he did the one, where his like daughter counted black people in the movie theater, and I
Yeah.
was like, that's weird.
I
That's
love
just
that
weird.
joke. I
Did
love
you
that
really?
joke.
I walked away from that kind of like I feel like you kind of self-incriminated your daughter for
Mm,
a punchline there.
I love
And,
that joke. The thing with Bart's special that I really loved, it was that is just like, after you finished it, you were like, okay, now I know more about Bert.
yeah,
And
it's
I
very
think,
personal.
yeah, I think that's what makes like a good special. Um, you need to, when you, and like with us too, even our 5 minutes, the audience should leave, okay, I know a little bit more about that person, because then it builds that connection, and
Yeah.
then you get they start coming back. That's the
And
key.
it takes so long to do
Oh
that. I
yeah.
mean, even now, I think I've just gotten to a place where some of the stuff I'm writing is coming more personal and becoming more of like, oh, this is like a point of view. This isn't like a generic joke.
Mm.
Um, but it's taken just so long to just get there, and even those aren't that, it takes forever just to refine that.
Yeah, it's a long process because we can only practice our art form 5 minutes a night. 5 minutes,
Yeah,
yeah, like a guitarist or anyone can do it for hours
nonstop
on
in
hours.
their room.
Yeah.
We can only write as much as, like, I get this bad thing where I was gonna do this thing when we went into quarantine. I was like, I'm gonna write a good joke a day. Not
Hmm.
like a joke a day. I was like, no, a joke that I'm like, I'm really excited to tell this joke. I think there's potential. I think I got through 6 of them before I like lost the momentum, because I was like, it's so hard when you can't go out and do it. Like, you lose faith, because you're like, what ends up happening is you forget what's funny, because you need that barometer. You need the fucking audience there to remind you, oh, this was dog shit.
Yeah.
And now I'm reminded, oh, this is funny. But what happens is, after a week of doing that, I realize, oh, I'm like, they're not good. Like, what I'm deeming as a good joke, really, like, it's not as good anymore. Like, I know it's getting watered down, but I can't tell you how it's getting watered down, because I can't do it in front of a group of strangers that are going to be brutally honest with it.
I know exactly how you feel. Like, this is with quarantine. I think a lot of people are now understanding how I felt, because I've technically, it'll be 2 years for me in July, but I've really only done stand up for like 7 months, because every time I get
Consistency.
every time I get something happens, and I get a setback. It's either like I don't have a job, my car breaks down. It's like it's those two. It's not having a job, my car breaks down. So that's why I'm pissed off with Corona, is because now I finally consistent where I know it's like, okay, I'm gonna be good. Like, I don't have to worry about car breaking down, and even if it does, I have the money to pay for it. I have a car. I mean, I have a job, and it's like I feel you with that. It's like when you write for the beginning, and then after, you just don't know what's funny, so like you stop writing,
Yeah.
and then you guys are now gonna feel this when you're coming back. You're gonna feel like you're not. It's gonna be this weird. It's that weird, like when you first start stand up and you're like, holy crap, I'm not funny. And it's like, I'm funny around my friends, but I can't make these people laugh. Like, what's wrong with
Yeah.
me?
You're going to forget the moves you had on stage.
That's, yeah. It's gonna be. Oh, like, you literally, like, you atrophy.
Yeah, yeah, it's a muscle. I mean, it's like anything. I mean, if you don't pick up your guitar for a couple weeks, you're gonna have to practice some scales again, and
Hmm.
like start really simple. And it's gonna be that way with stand up, where it's like, you're gonna have to start simple, man. Just focus on mastering the open mic again,
Yeah.
and then start worrying about, okay, the show again. Like, what's my 10? What's my 15? What's my
Mm.
fucking 30? It takes time to get there. And I mean, those are the sad part, is for like you and me, never had to worry about our 30. We were never
Yeah.
there. I think the most I've ever had to consistently worry about is like my 8 and my 10.
Hmm.
That's because that's most shows,
Right.
is 8 minutes, 10 minutes. The longest set I've ever done is like 20 minutes, maybe 20 something minutes. And like, it
Hmm.
wasn't a good 20. It was
Yeah.
like, it was a 20, and there were
Hmm.
good portions, but then there were definitely slower parts where it was like, okay, at least I held their attention, and that was not a failure, but it wasn't like what I was saying was funny.
Right. Right.
It takes time. I agree with you. You're going to have a lot of shitty comedians for a
Oh
while. It's
yeah.
going to
This.
take a couple months before we're all back.
Hmm. I think. But going back into it, I think to build time, what I'm gonna do is just try every week, have a good minute, like a new minute that's good. I'm not explaining it well.
Yeah, that makes
Um,
sense. I mean, you're just trying to have like a tight minute.
yeah, just a tight. So after every week, I come out with a new 10 minutes. So after a month, you get 4 minutes. But in a year, that's 50 minutes. So like you get an hour of just good solid material, and then like that like you're gonna be able to produce more than a minute in a week sometimes. But like, just to get that solid minute, just breaking it
Oh,
up into
yeah.
chunks.
Sometimes you get lucky and you just get a bit that works really well, really quickly. And it's just so easy to build from there. That doesn't happen often. I mean, that's usually the exception. Usually what the typical process for me, and I mean, I'm sure other people are different. You get better with writing with time, but it's like usually you start with a thing and it's like something's funny in it, but you're not really communicating it as well as it should be, or there's a way to be communicating it. And it takes me like a couple weeks to get to a point where I'm like, okay, this fucking bit got hot. Like now it's good and I can put it on the shelf. But it just takes time. It takes a lot of just putting it out there.
Yeah, it's just hard work. But I think we've been going.
Yeah, we've gotten serious, and I don't like that.
Yeah,
I want to make it. Before we wrap this up, I want to make it clear: if you've ever thought about doing stand up, please don't. There's no place for you.
Mm-hmm.
It's a hellhole, and it's a complete. You're wasting the best years of your life.
Yeah, if you're really serious about it, you're just gonna get lonelier.
Yeah, well, because you lose friends over time.
Yeah.
Because what's gonna happen, especially like when you move out, like you'll realize this too, and I know you're realizing it slowly, but when you end up doing stand up and you start getting more and more into it, what ends up happening is your life turns into your job and stand up. That's like the two things you're seeing. And that's kind of it. So you slowly start getting detached from like your circle of friends because stand up demands so much of your time to be good.
Yeah, you gotta choose what you want. Do you want to be good at stand up or do you want to have a social life? And you'll see the comedians who care more about their social life and they're still at the open mics and then they're like, why am I not getting better? And it's like, well, because you're not going to every single mic. Instead, you wanted to party with Todd.
I would say party with Todd. Do that instead. Please download TikTok before the end comes.
If you're pretty.
Yeah. I mean, even if you have your doubts, it's a good way to find out.
If you have your doubts.
Honestly, it's the most efficient way to find out. If you do have coronavirus or you think you might, please stay home, you selfish son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we've reached a good point here. Yeah, what have they gotten? They've learned what packing protein is. They've learned that TikTok started the coronavirus. Weinstein, hey, come on.
Hey, come on.
And how to do stand up,
Yeah, from an open mic level perspective.
Yeah, I mean, 100%. I mean, yeah, you're gonna get better advice than fucking Mark Maron's show. I mean, I think it's important to hear comedians at our level talk because this is what you're gonna be stuck with for a long fucking time.
For a good minute.
You're not even gonna fully understand what fucking Chappelle and Carlin and all those fuckers are talking about. You think you do. There's like a part of your brain that's so egotistical. You think you understand what they're saying, but you just don't.
Yeah,
you won't for a long time.
And don't take a comedy class. Don't take a comedy class. They're stupid. You know what they say in some comedy classes? What? They say, they go, try being funny in your day-to-day life. It's like, why the fuck would you become a comedian if you're not funny in your day-to-day life?
I mean, some people aren't funny off stage. That is true, though. There are people that are very funny on stage and just not that funny off stage.
Yeah, because they work their ass off. They work their ass off. People is you haven't found your voice.
Yeah.
Nah, that's why I love all the comedians, and I love all the comedians. Atlanta, Boston, everyone. You all are some unique motherfuckers.
Well, that's what you just get in comedy. I mean, anyone that hangs around is deranged, and anyone that's deranged is going to be naturally interesting.
We're all messed up.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're packing protein, and you think it's a good life, so.
Yeah, I think I should reevaluate.
Well, I think we reached a good point with this podcast then. I mean, really, I just want to keep going until we got you to quit comedy and reevaluate everything.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. So then we're just going to have to end it
here.
Right,
we'll try this again. This again.
Yeah, but appreciate
this has been fun,
you.
Daniel. Yeah, this has been fun. Thanks for having me. This is keep this going. What are we calling this? Daniel Dellanno cast?
Dellanno show. Right, we'll the third time you deliberately, I'm gonna get you for that. But
we'll work on it.
Yeah, but appreciate you coming on. Appreciate it.
Of course, appreciate it, man. Thank you.